Okay, how you going everyone? Finally got my dual battery box put into the Ranger, and now I've just got to get the battery, put it in and see how we go. So fits snugly. Quite impressed with they cut out a little bit of the canopy, the liner down here, and fits nice and snug. Anyway, first things first, let's crack a beer before we get into it. Now, I have noticed these little rods hold down the battery. They didn't supply any nuts and bolts or nuts for it, or washers. So I've had to go back and get them. So I finally got them, so all good. Let's have a beer. But yeah, quite impressed with how it fits in quite neatly. Done a good job that way. These things do happen, but here's another thing. They don't even give me an Allen key to undo the top, so I've got to go and find one myself. So anyway, they're just little things. I'll go and search for it, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Found an Allen key, and no dramas at all. I won't bore you with taking them all off, but you think they could have supplied even a basic Allen key. It doesn't have to be a T like top like this one. So yeah, you'd think they could have done that. Anyway, it is what it is. Alright, got the 4 Allen key bolts out. I have noticed, you can probably show you, on the A charging profile, it's flashing, so it means it's charging, which is a good thing coming off the car. So let's take the cover off. There we go. Good solid cover. Yep, like that. Got their little ARB logo. Good on them. But have a look what I find here. That positive wire is just sitting there banging on the inside of here. Now, I would imagine there's a fuse in there, so that fuse is either blown already. The negative probably doesn't matter so much because it's only earthed out to the car, but the positive, unbelievable. So it's just sitting there banging out onto the box as I'm driving along on the way home. Can you believe that? Surely they could have just earthed it out somehow. Maybe they were just pissed off that I was buying my own battery, and they wanted $290 to put a 3-pin cigarette socket up the top here. Absolute ridiculous. So I'm certainly going to do that myself. So yep, all right, let's go and get a battery. Okay, I've driven back to ARB, probably what, 15k away, and I've got myself a washer and the nuts. So simple little thing. Whether it was left out on the guy's bench, who knows, but luckily I had to go down that way anyway, and I dropped in, let him know and I said, hey, you were telling me how good this bloke is, and this is left out, no earth on the positive wires, just hanging free in the box. Could have just put a rag around it or something like that to stop it from touching the metal box. And yeah, just simple little things, but when you're paying big bucks like you do with ARB, you expect to get the little things done and things checked. Anyway, that's enough of that. I've got that done. I've gone and got my battery as well, so let's go to that. All right, got my battery, and it's a 100 amp hour lithium ion battery. Looks the goods. Got my old 3-pin cigarette socket. I'm going to fix that up on the back canopy there, and I'll cut that off and cut the wire off and put a fuse in there. So we'll see how we go. Let's get the battery out and have a look at it. User manual here, we'll read that later. Oh, nice and packed in tight. Oh, lovely blue lid. Yep, as I thought, it's got bolts, so that's no dramas, and it's got handles. Oh, beautiful, just what the doctor ordered. The difference between the lithium ion and the AGM battery, which I've got in my Sahara, is I can't even lift the AGM battery. It would have to be 30 kilos. So to try and get that up and over in the engine bay, this thing weighs, gross weight is 11.1, so that's the box and all. The actual battery is only 10.3 kilos. How good is that? So could probably lift it out with one hand, I reckon. Easy as that. Look at that. So pretty blue. Jeez, it actually feels like it's empty. Feels like there's nothing in there. Where's its tags? Oh yeah, around this way. So 12.8, 100 amp hour, should be plenty to run the fridge. And yeah, it's got its old cut-off. Look at that, made in China. Where else would you expect it to come from? India, maybe, but cannot believe that weight. That's just light as a feather. All right, let's go and have a crack at putting it in. Time for another one. It's hard work. Look how light this battery is. One hand. Slots in so easy. Carry handles, beautiful. It's a 12-inch battery holder, and there's not much room for anything else. That's the 100 amp hour, and the next one up, I think the 200 amp hour, I reckon that was nearly 18 inches long. So yeah, huge difference. So what's that make it? 450 mil or thereabouts, 400 mil, whatever. It still wouldn't fit in here, so this is the only one that's going in and should do the job. Better keep the fluids up. there you have it. She's installed. She's got the clamp on. What a pain in the ass those Nylex nuts were to try and clamp down on. I see the bracket down in there. What a pain in the ass that was, where the bolt goes onto. Oh, did I have problems with that trying to get it together. Come on, ARB, you can do better than that. There's better ways to clamp a battery on. Maybe it's the Nylex nuts that were just a pain in the ass. Maybe it just needs spring washers instead. But I suppose once it's in there, at least the Nylex, it's going to hold it there in place for a while. But it's enough to drive you to drink. Okay, well, let's see what looks neat enough in there. Let's see how it looks when it starts up, and we'll see what the charging lights do. Okay, they've put the power onto here. I've put a run it here, 50 amp fuse. I would say that could be the negative, and then the power runs around back down there and must go under the body. So that's what's in the engine bay. And we come down and I'll show you the staging, what it's doing now on the charger. So the A light's just on solid, so it means it's charging. The main red light is coming from the vehicle where it's being charged, and the flashing light says stage, I think. So the flashing must mean it's charging. So far so good. We'll see how it goes from here. So I just got to put the plug in tomorrow up here, and away we go. Oh, might as well finish me beer. Here's the invoice. Battery passenger side of tub, battery slide on passenger side, battery slide, fridge slide. Customer is sourcing battery elsewhere and fitting cigarette sockets himself. They wanted $290 to fit it. Then when I said, wow, that's a bit steep, he said, oh, we'll make it $190. But it's like, yeah, for a $30 part. I'm not sure if that's coming out. It's $1,045 for the battery kit, and $455 to fit it. Must say, did a great job fitting it. Got it right in on the side, so the fridge slide had could be over as much as possible. So all up it cost with GST $1,979. But yeah, $290 just to put the cigarette sockets in, which I'm gonna do myself. All right. Here's me cigarette socket. I've got a 3-pronger Nava. Just cut the male socket off. I've wired up a 10 amp fuse, and yeah, positive, negative, and that's all it takes. I'm going to be lucky if I can fit in, I'll be lucky if I fit in a couple of prison bar ales doing this, but yeah, it's warm enough, I'll probably get through them. Okay, I'm going to fix this up just at the top here, so I've got access from the side window. I don't have to reach in all the time, and should be easy enough done. Then that cord will get fixed up against the side and hooked up. I won't bore you with showing you me doing it. I'll just show you the end result. Okay, so cheers, big ears, you beauty. And there's the completed result. She's fixed in tight, just with a few cable ties. I didn't have to drill any holes, I just went through the holes that were already in the canopy. A bit of protective split hosing. Comes down, negative, positive, 10mm amp, no dramas at all. I'll probably cable tie them together just to make sure it's all right. Yeah, and I was right, only took 2 beers. So let's have another one to celebrate that it's done. Start to warm up a little bit. I've got my little battery monitor and the voltmeter and thermometer. What's it telling me? We've got 30 something degrees. It's going up, and 13.9, 14 volts. So she's pretty much fully charged. There's the hang on, I'll hold it around that way so you can read it. It's a BCDC 1225D battery charger. So from Red Arc, supposedly the best on the market in the world. So let's hope so. All right, all complete. I'll put the top back on it, and then it's time for the fridge slide and maybe a couple more beers. All right, there we go. I've got the 3-pin cigarette lighter. The wiring, it's taken me probably 20 minutes. Probably not even that. 3 beers. So, all good. Cover is in place. All good and solid. Do like that. Nice and solid. So, now just got to put the fridge in. Whack it on the side, she's all done. That's the ARB Duel Battery Kit with the charger, and it's got a Anderson plug there for plugging solar in when you're tied up out bush. So great stuff. All right.